Hey everybody, I'm Kate Conroy.
And I'm Vinnie.
And this is Other People's Business, which is the podcast from the New Jersey Business and Industry Association, the largest statewide business association in the country. We release a new episode every other Wednesday, so be on the lookout for that. Shout out to New Jersey Manufacturers Insurance Group. They do home, auto, and workers' comp, and they are the official sponsor of the show, so check them out if you need some updated coverage.
Awesome. Just a housekeeping matter, too, before we get this train rolling. This podcast is available just about anywhere you can get a podcast. That's iTunes, Google Play, Amazon's TuneIn. We even throw these things up on YouTube if you'd rather watch than listen. But no matter how you check the show out, give it some love. Give it that like. Give it that comment. Give it that 5-star review on iTunes. Helps our bosses keep the show on the air, knowing people are out there watching it. But with all that out of the way, our awesome guest today from beautiful Crystal Springs Resort in Sussex County, New Jersey, is Chris Mulvihill. Chris, say hi. Let the audience hear your voice.
Hello, welcome. Great to be here.
Great to have you.
It is fantastic to have you. So today's icebreaker is, what are you currently binging? It can be books, movies, TV, or even food. And I am happy to go first because sometimes it's hard to think of what you're binging on the fly. I just finished the second season of White Lotus after everybody in the world raved about it. And
you know how apropos that is for this episode?
I don't know. How apropos is that? Did the last episode, did we already talk? Was it just
No, I'm saying because Chris is here from beautiful Crystal Springs Resort.
That's right.
And the White Lotus is about the beautiful White Lotus Resort.
That's
right.
Yes,
that's all I'm saying.
Yeah, no, good call. Sorry for being a little dim there for a
Sorry
second.
for not remembering the whole concept of the show you just binge watched. Yeah.
Yeah. Anyway, it was phenomenal. The first season was great. The second season was also great. I was really bummed at the end of the second season, and it's a spoiler, so I'm not gonna
Yeah. Chris, have you watched this at all?
I have not. You have me intrigued.
It's funny. I hadn't. I'm not going to say I hadn't heard of it, but I hadn't really had any interest in seeing it. And then there was something like 5 or 6 guests on this show in a row that told us that that's what they were watching, and I was finally just like, all right, look, I got to do it. So actually, last night I spent 6 hours. I finished somewhere around 1 or 2 o'clock in the morning, binging the first season. And I actually texted Kate at like 1, 2 in the morning, and I was like, listen, I don't know how they make a second season of this, because it all ends up, regardless of what happens, it all is so tightly confined within that season. Like there are no cliffhangers or, like anything, plot holes, nothing. It's all just in that one tightly wound season. And I was like, why do a second one? But Kate tells me the second season is good too. So
I think
probably start that tonight.
The reason
you have me intrigued. Hopefully the CMO of the resort doesn't go to jail or get killed.
It's something like that, to be honest with you.
There's always something.
It's funny. I had no idea what it was about because nobody could really tell me. They would all be like, "Oh yeah, it's just phenomenal." The best I could really do to describe it would be, it's such a slow burn. Like all these people come to this resort, and the first couple episodes, they're all just putting things in place. Like they're introducing you to all these different characters, and they all have separate storylines going on. And normally in something like this, they would all kind of converge at the end into one big thing. And they resisted the urge to really let that happen. The different stories do crosstalk with each other a lot, but we know in the beginning that somebody will die, because they give you one of those things like 1 week earlier, but somebody on the cast is going to die. And it all starts very calm. And then, like the water starts boiling, and all these different story arcs just keep getting like more and more tense until you hit the end. So
yeah, it's really good.
So that's what I was binging too. So it's all on Chris now. Yeah.
So Chris, what are you binging?
Well, I try not to watch a lot of television. I got a lot going on up here at the resort, but
you look out the window, you got those beautiful mountains. Why even bother?
Yes. But if my children were listening here, they would cringe to hear me say this. My guilty pleasure is a show on the History Channel called The Curse of Oak Island, which is about these 2 brothers who bought this island up in Nova Scotia, where they're hunting for treasure that people have been trying to find for like
I've heard of this.
250 years.
Yeah.
And it's actually I find it interesting, but at the same time, every week they're like, oh, we think we're gonna,
We're close.
they found the money. They're gonna find it next week, and then next week comes, and next week comes, and I think they're making more money off of the royalties from the show than if they ever find the treasure.
The X on the treasure map is just so big. There's a lot of room for gray area, in there.
Yeah, definitely pulled me in on that one.
That's cool.
I've heard of that. I've heard that it's really popular just because it's so silly and campy, and like you can't believe that these guys are still looking for buried treasure.
It's interesting because my father had actually told me about this place when I was a little kid, and I read a book about it when I was maybe 10 or 12 years old, and here are these guys, still searching for this treasure. So it's has some history, and real backstory to it. Whether there's any treasure or not, who knows?
What'd be really funny is if, like, I don't know how long the show's been going on, but for however long they've been looking for it, if, like Pate and I or somebody random just took like a day trip up to the area just to be like, oh yeah, I watched that show. Yeah, what's this? And then like, stick the shovel in the ground, hit like the metal clank that you hear in the movies. What's this?
Yeah.
Cameras are off. Everybody's off doing whatever. We just find the treasure.
What do you even do in that case? If you happen to find buried treasure, do you have to declare it? Can you just like put it in a knapsack and take it home?
That's a good question.
I think they might be all over you up at that place. They're
I think the trouble will be when you go to like sell it or cash in on it. Like you can't just. What are you going to do? You're going to bring that to a pawn shop and dump like $2 million in gold bullions on the table or something?
Yeah, no, you're right. I definitely am overthinking that. No, you're right. That wouldn't work. Oh well.
So it would be much easier to segue if we did our thing first, but since we can't really go from buried treasure to Springs Resort, Chris, tell us what you do.
So I run the marketing at Crystal Springs Resort, which is the largest golf, spa, and culinary resort in the Northeast. We're also the closest resort in the world to New York City, about an hour northwest of the George Washington Bridge. So, we have 2 hotels and 6 golf courses. And you know what's better than a spa, Vinny?
A mountain?
2 spas.
2 spas.
Yeah.
I should have figured that one out. I'm sorry. That's on me. You laid it up and I just completely dropped the ball.
But no, we so we have a lot of different offerings, pretty diverse set of audiences. We have people who come up for family vacations, for couples getaways, girlfriends getaways, wellness retreats. We do approaching almost 300 weddings a year. We have 4 different, distinct wedding venues, and we do a tremendous amount of
Did you say 400?
I think we did about 280 weddings this year. Weddings.
No, I thought you said venues, like
4 venues.
We have 4, actually 5, but we can actually run 4 weddings with 4 separate teams, all where the brides are miles apart. So it's not like you're going, you're coming in and somebody's coming out. You'll never see the other bridal party, as they're totally distinct and apart from each other.
That's good, because I could see that causing a lot of drama.
Yeah.
Yes. And then we we
wait, before you go on to some of the other stuff, tell me about these 2 spas. What could I get if I went to one of these 2 spas?
Oh, well, we have a wide variety of treatments at both spas, facials, massages, very decadent massages, body wraps. We have very cutting edge treatments if you want a more youthful appearance, jet peel, hydrofacials. But you can get
What's a hydrofacial? It sounds like the sort of thing I could use, but
yeah. Well, it's helps to exfoliate the face and a lot of different minerals and other treatments that go along with it to give you a more youthful appearance. So we have, some of those treatments that you might not find at your typical spa, but what we also have is incredible indoor and outdoor pool complexes. So if you come up, for we call it a spa vacation, you can, come in the spa with your friends, have some champagne, get a pampering treatment, but then relax by the pool, in kind of like the tropics. In our biosphere, we have palm trees growing. So, you don't have to fly to, the Caribbean
I
to get.
just want to put it out there for our audience that we were offered a free stay at the Crystal Springs Resort, and Kate turned it down. And this is what you turned down, Kate.
Come on, man. Don't call me out like that.
Not too late. It's not too late.
Well, that's just it. The timing didn't work out before this this taping, but maybe we'll have to take you up on it afterward. But you totally made me think of maybe a really silly question. But mudding. Do you do mudding?
Yes.
I've always wanted to try that. You do? Vinny, do you know what that is?
To me. No, I don't do nearly enough to take care of my skin, body, anything,
So I think it's where they fill a bathtub with mud, and then you get in and you soak in the mud.
Is it special mud? Is it?
I think so. Chris, fill us in.
I'm not a spa technician, so you're getting me in a little trouble because I don't want to tell you.
That's okay. I'm asking.
I was going to say, I think it
questions.
rained yesterday. If I go to my backyard and just roll around for a little while, is it much better than that?
No,
it's a little better than that.
The mud apparently has like special minerals and stuff in it. It's like special soil that they mix with special water. And yeah, it's supposed to like rejuvenate and make you feel amazing.
Cool.
Yeah, absolutely. And we have actually, what's interesting is, our hotel in Vernon, New Jersey is called Minerals Hotel because in the region there are a very high concentration of minerals that are not found anywhere else in the world. And the spa there is called Elements Spa, as we incorporate many of those minerals and the elements into the treatments, into both facial and body treatments. So, but Kate, I think you have to take a field trip to really get do the gumshoe work to get the ultimate answer to your question.
I think you might have to. I'm like really tempted now because I've always wanted to try mudding.
Well, we'll be happy to accommodate.
There's not a lot of responses to I always wanted to try mudding.
I know. It's a very weird thing to want to do, I guess, probably.
You mentioned the pools. Tell me about some of the pools.
So we have 3 pool complexes. And
pool
2
complexes.
of them are indoor. Yeah, I say complexes because, both hotels have, indoor, outdoor, heated pool complexes. So you literally can swim under and you're in a snow pool. So you could be outside. It could be, 10 degrees out, blizzard, and you're totally warm because it's, steaming hot water, that you're in while it's snowing, which is fantastic. And then you swim back under and, you're in really a tropical, pool. Both complexes have hot tubs.
It's awesome until you get out, right?
Yeah. Well, if you get outside, then you're freezing.
Yeah.
But if you get out and you're inside,
No, go ahead. Sorry.
No, we have hot tubs, steam, sauna. There's saltwater aquariums with tropical fish in there. So when I say you'll feel like you're in I don't want to tell you that you're going to be in St. John or St. Thomas, but without getting on a plane, it's the next best thing. And
that sounds amazing.
Yeah, I've never been to any of those places, so yeah, I wouldn't know the difference. You could tell me it's just like being in Aruba, and I would believe you.
Well, I like to tell people that in less time than it would take you to drive to the airport, park, and go through airport security, you could be sitting poolside, looking at a palm tree at Crystal Springs, drinking, having a nice rum bucket. So,
That's awesome.
That sounds amazing.
I'm gonna get you up here, Kate. I'm telling you.
I think you are. I think you are going to get me up there. That sounds amazing. Tell me about the golf courses.
Well, we have 6 golf courses, and that makes us the largest golf resort in the Northeast. Our
Wow.
flagship course, Ballyowen, is a links style course. It is really widely considered the best public golf course in the state of New Jersey. We're the only public course that has caddies. It's again, spectacular links style that is, no trees. You're 220 acres on this plateau where you can see to New York, to Pennsylvania. It's just, it's a really sight to behold. The architect, Roger Rulich, did such a great job there. We had him do encore performance on Wild Turkey, which is another favorite, as well as Cascades. All the golf courses are, as the crow flies, within a few miles of each other. So it's really a mecca of golf, and but with so much more to round out the experience from a culinary standpoint, from an accommodation standpoint.
All right, so you mentioned culinary. Oh, sorry. Go ahead, Kate.
No, I was just going to say, in our conversation before we hit record, you mentioned something about green energy, and I was really intrigued by that. Can you talk a little bit about your green energy?
Sure. We are, a lot of people don't know this, we're the largest solar-powered resort on the Eastern Seaboard. We have a solar field that we brought online a few years ago, actually just before the pandemic, that generates more power annually than the combined consumption of our 2 hotels.
Wow.
So
Wow.
if you have a company that's like, well, we want to be more sustainably responsible about where we want to host our, offsite company meeting this year, a couple things to consider. Number one, you and your staff could wake up, right, knowing you slept in a solar powered hotel. But the second thing I'll tell you is that is not the greenest, would not be the greenest thing about your corporate retreat. The greenest thing would be that by deciding to drive to us instead of flying, say, to Las Vegas, right? We did the math, and if I get two groups of about 250 people per month to decide to host their corporate retreat at our resort, New York companies or New Jersey companies, rather than flying to Las Vegas, the savings of carbon emissions and jet fuel is more than what our 3.5 megawatt solar field offsets on an annual basis. So
That's incredible.
yeah, staying local is actually a pretty big deal. It saves time. Obviously, it saves money, and it saves the environment. But that's part of a common theme we've really been working on. We source over 120 local ingredients on our menus. We have a wide variety of programs to support local agriculture. We have a program called the Crystal Springs Harvest Trail, where we will give our guests baskets when you check in that has local honey, local jam, cider, wine from a local vineyard, and a map where you can go out and visit all of these different local farms and producers in the area with vouchers to pick apples or go hayride, take a hayride or go cider tasting, etc. So trying to support, local agriculture and also incorporating programs to, let me back up a second. Sorry. We have a really exciting new team building program we call the Inspiration Series. So if somebody wants to come and do tug of war or laser tag or one of those things, fine. We have that. But our Inspiration Series is this collection of team building and group activities that really combine themes of sustainability and local agriculture and wellness. And I'll just give you a few examples. You can come with your team and build beehives. All right, as a team effort.
So
You can
cool.
meet a local beekeeper who will give a talk about, the importance of bees to the environment and to local agriculture. And then we will actually put those beehives out on a local farm. And a few months later, you'll get a crate of honey back, to your offices that you can, literally enjoy the fruits of your labor.
That sounds
So,
cool.
I love it.
that's one of many. If you want to come and take a hike to our solar field and have a talk with an expert who can talk to you about solar power and sustainable energy and benefits of that. We have you can take a hike with a botanical hiker who can show you different botanicals that grow wild that can be literally picked here, and then come back and show how those can be used to make infused cocktails. So that's an exciting program that just kind of aligns with that whole theme of sustainability.
So
Awesome.
oh, go ahead. Sorry.
No, I was just marveling at how cool that is.
Yeah.
Go ahead.
I have a 5-year-old. Do you guys have any activities or anything? Let's call it for the whole family.
So yeah, we have activities for all ages, and again, in alignment with the theme of kind of our local environment. We have a farmer who comes in with baby goats.
Oh
And,
boy.
we do, goat yoga for older
Are
crowd.
the goats doing the yoga? Are you doing the yoga alongside
Actually,
the goat?
I thought it was a joke at first when the idea first came up, but the goats love it. They,
Yeah.
you get into like that downward dog pose and they jump up on your back. But
Yep.
we do,
The
photo
goat
op.
jumps on your back.
Yes.
The
I'll
goat-
send you a
Good thing.
picture. I'll send you a
Okay.
picture. Yeah. It's so cute.
The goats jump on your back, and but for the younger kids, we'll do a special time where we have photo ops with the baby goats. A lot of people get great holiday pictures doing that. But we have pony rides. We have
I bet I
a
could get a really
farmer.
good picture out of a goat jumping on my back.
Yeah, we
All right.
we have pony rides. We have a farmer who comes and gives a talk on how to raise chickens. If you're interested in getting your own farm fresh eggs in your backyard, goes through all the basics about how you can get the kit and what's involved to do that responsibly. Some of the kids just get a kick out of seeing all the chickens. But we have rock climbing wall that we just put in at Minerals Hotel, which has had a lot of new. Our whole sports club there is newly renovated. We have we call bungee flow, which lets you hang from the ceiling on these bungee cords. It's a pretty, again, a picture's worth 1,000 words there. But everything from archery to axe throwing, nature hikes. For the older kids, we've got wine cellar tours. We
I like how
have
you included the axe throwing in the the section for the younger kids.
Yeah. Well, big kids. Remember, a lot of people have teenagers, and
Yeah.
they want to be entertained. So, you know, we put in a glice rink last
A
year.
what?
Glice.
What's glice?
It's a synthetic ice. It's again, eco-friendly. It's a Swiss engineered um, synthetic ice that you can skate on even when it's above freezing.
Okay.
And that's been very popular along with a curling rink. So whether you want to get out there and skate or just hang out, fireside with some hot cocoa, virgin or spiked, either there or at Minerals Hotel, we have this great setup, Frosty's Cantina, where you can do during the holidays, mini tree decorating, or now we have a mini stuffed animal creation, fireside marshmallow roasts. During the holidays, visits with Santa, and there's 12 goats of Christmas, which was kind of we had all the goats dressed up as little elves and Santa's reindeer.
Oh.
Yeah, but activities, galore, fishing. Also in the area, right across the street from one of the hotels is Legend Stables. They have horseback riding. You've got Mountain Creek right up the street, which is, this has been a pretty mild winter, but skiing and snowboarding nonetheless, because they have man-made snow tubing. And then there's mountain biking, water park, zip lines, ropes courses. We have our own, on property nature trails, but then right up the street from us, a lot of people don't realize this, is the Appalachian Trail. So the Appalachian Trail comes right down through New York and through Vernon. Just a few miles away from us through New Jersey. And there's a great boardwalk section, which is very mild. And then if you are more adventurous, you can hike, they call it the Stairway to Heaven, up to the Pinwheel Vista, which is like
That's so cool.
spectacular.
We should probably go on break soon, but I did want to ask about the, you mentioned culinary as one of your big pillars. Tell me a little bit about the restaurants.
Well, we have 12 dining outlets. Our crown jewel is Restaurant Latour, which is really probably the most highly decorated restaurant in the state of New Jersey. It's the most expensive restaurant in the state of New Jersey. We have on our other menus over 120 locally sourced ingredients, but at Latour alone, we have over 150 locally foraged ingredients. So people talk about farm to table. This is from the woods to the table. So we have these foragers who go out and
It's a fun
literally
job.
procure. Yeah, it's amazing the ingredients that they find locally, and they will come in and meet with the chef. So Chef Aisling Stevens, amazing. She's the resort's executive chef, and she will meet with the foragers and give them kind of a wish list, knowing what's in season, and then they'll come back with what they were able to get, and then she'll plan the menu around that. And the menu is ever changing. And
I
some
was
of
going
these
to ask what you recommend.
What's
What's the specialty?
I recommend whatever she has, because it's
all good.
It's never the same, and it's always amazing. And it's all paired with wines from one of the best wine cellars in the world, literally. So we have over 5,000 labels. I'm not talking about bottles. I'm talking about labels. In our cellar, we have one of the best collections of Bordeaux in the world, but we have, we're very deep in a lot of areas, Burgundy, Rhone, Italian wine, California cult wines. You really have to come up and see our cellar, but we've been a grand award winner from the Wine Spectator every year since 2006.
That's
But
incredible.
I don't want to detract at all from Restaurant Latour, but our Chef's Garden is also one of my favorites, and probably one of the most unique restaurants, if not the most unique restaurant in the state. You literally can dine in the middle of a 1 acre organic, working garden where we're growing, dozens of varieties of heirloom tomatoes and 100 different herbs and vegetables. Beside that, overlooking the valley with, a great team cooking open air, right in front of you. It's really, it's really special. That's in the summer.
That all just sounds magical. I definitely cannot wait to come for a visit at this point. But I think we're going to take a quick break. And then when we come back, we're going to dig into our lightning round. And welcome back. It is now time for our lightning round, which today is brought to us by Integris IT. Chris, are you ready?
I'm ready.
All right. First
That's
question.
the kind of enthusiasm we want to see.
I know, I love the fire in the belly. Favorite pizza topping?
Speaking of the fire in the belly.
I know.
Is that for me?
Yeah, that's for you.
All the questions are for you.
That's an easy
It's
one.
about meeting you.
Jalapenos and sausage.
Oh, that's a great.
I have never tried jalapenos on a pizza. That's good.
I enjoy them, but I never think of them. That's great combo.
That's an interesting combination. I know green peppers and sausage is a popular combo. Jalapeno, that's interesting. Gives a little more kick.
I like
hot cherry
jalapenos.
peppers are acceptable too. That's an acceptable substitution.
Sure.
Now my mouth is watering. I want pizza for dinner. There you go.
I want to try it.
All right, greatest TV show ever made.
Greatest TV show. Wow. I can't say Curse of Oak Island. Let's see here.
Maybe if they find the treasure.
Yes, if they find the treasure, that will definitely be the greatest. I would say the Sopranos. The Sopranos. I mean, not only do I live in New Jersey, I live in Essex County. So
You live in Essex?
I do. I live about 2 miles from Tony Soprano's house in the episode.
Mm-hmm. That is a very nice neighborhood. And Sopranos is the granddaddy of this golden age of television that we're living through. So I give all props to the Sopranos.
That was yeah. I should have known that one immediately.
Yeah, it's awesome. Farthest from New Jersey you've ever been?
Abu Dhabi.
Wow. No one's ever said that before. How did that happen?
I was going to say, did you get shipped out by Garfield?
No.
That's a really obscure joke. Nermal. They used to take Nermal, put him in a box, and ship him out to Abu Dhabi. And throughout my whole childhood, I didn't realize that Abu Dhabi was a real place. I just thought that was something they made up on Garfield. But I'm sorry, go ahead.
No. Abu Dhabi, I didn't get, I actually felt very safe the whole time I was there, Abu Dhabi was quite an interesting, I went there 3 times.
For work?
For work, yes. In a past life, I had a diversion in a robotic parking business.
Wow.
That's another story for another time.
Abu Dhabi.
Yes, it's right next to the place that everybody talks about over there.
Yeah.
The bigger city.
Mm-hmm.
Okay.
Come on, now I'm putting you guys on the spot.
Geography is the worst.
I can't do that. Are you crazy?
Yeah.
Dubai.
Dubai.
Abu Dhabi is right next to Dubai.
Sure. Yeah.
Wow, that's incredible. That's a great answer. All right. Are you a morning person or a night owl?
Yes. Yes.
Oh, okay. Burning it
I'm
on
Wow.
up
both
early
ends
and I'm up late. Come
successfully.
on. Crystal Springs got, a lot going on. It's too much going on here to sleep. I'll
Absolutely.
sleep
That
when
makes
I'm
We'll all
sense.
dead.
sleep when we're dead. But it sounds like such a relaxing place. You ever take advantage of any of it?
No.
That's the thing. I'm so relaxed that I don't need to sleep.
That's a good answer. I like that.
That's a great answer. All right, last question. How many cats is too many cats?
Ooh, at the risk of offending some of your listeners, any
No, just
cats.
do it. Any
Any cats
cats.
is too many cats.
Oh,
I'm a
no.
dog person.
I love it.
Great
All
answer.
right. Excellent. Excellent. Kate, go ahead. Do we have a what
No,
is it?
just
There's
that
usually
was,
a sponsor for the right
yes,
show, maybe?
that was the lightning round, which today was brought to us by Integris IT.
Awesome. So, Chris, earlier in the show, you had mentioned that people could save, or not people, the environment could save if more people decided to come to Crystal Springs rather than flying out to Las Vegas for their retreats. As a membership-driven podcast, a lot of our listeners happen to be businesses, in the state of New Jersey. Why don't you sell them on the idea? Like, what could they get out of their retreat coming to Crystal Springs Resort?
Great question. Thank
And
you.
why
Thank
do
you.
it? Let's say.
Yeah. Well, I would say that in this day and age with people working, so many people working remote, there's not as much interaction in the office as there used to be. And, getting people together, it's a big undertaking. It's an investment, not only financially, but it's an investment in time that you're not, chopping the wood, you're taking some time to, sharpen the saw, so to speak.
Yeah.
And so, make it count. And what we offer is a very, relaxing setting where people can get out of their elements. They'll be more creative, more open, being out with, stunning mountain and valley views, and the employees, feel more appreciated in that kind of environment, more relaxed, and ultimately will be more creative. And if what you want to accomplish, which, I think you should want to accomplish, is to get, better bonding, get your team, in a more cohesive, spirit. We really offer, the setting. We offer really the Northeast most comprehensive team building, program, and just a great collection of amenities and a lot of really unique spaces for meetings and team dinners, breakout sessions, et cetera. And it's right in your backyard. So that's my pitch
Yeah. Very
on
cool.
why
Very
Crystal
cool.
Springs.
You've sold me. I don't get to choose where our employee retreat is, but if I did, you'd be there.
Same.
So,
Well, put in a
Chris,
word for me. Put in
Oh,
a
we
word.
will.
absolutely. I'm going to drop that in the suggestion box the second I walk out of the studio.
Definitely.
Chris, if somebody wants to learn more, get a hold of you, how can they do that?
Yeah, crystalgolfresort.com. That's crystalgolfresort.com. We're also on Instagram and Facebook. Just search Crystal Springs Resort. And we are a lot of things to a lot of different people. But if you haven't been, ask around. Word of mouth is our best way of getting business, because we think what we offer is pretty good. And once you've come and experienced it, you'll see for yourself.
I literally
cool.
can't wait at this
Yeah.
point. I've already made a mental list of all the things I want to do.
Go yoga. Go yoga. Don't forget goat yoga.
I want to do horseback riding, and I want to do goat yoga.
Goat Yoda.
That's an altogether different
Yeah.
experience. And I want to do mudding, and I want to sit by the pool, and I want to have a lovely dinner. So that's probably, how long is the average stay?
Average stay is, like 2.2 days.
2.2, that sounds right.
It's not, because it's just so quick and easy to get here.
Yep.
We got people who stay for a week, but, usually it's a quick getaway.
Love it.
Cool.
I am so happy you came on the show today. Thank you so much.
Likewise. Well, thank you for hosting me. Really, really appreciate it. And we'll be in touch to make sure you guys get up here.
Oh, I
Very
hope
cool.
so. Yeah, thank you. Thank you to our listeners, especially the subscribers. We appreciate the support. Thank you to New Jersey Manufacturers Insurance Group, the official sponsor of the show. They do home, auto, and workers' comp. So check them out if you need some updated coverage. And finally, one last thank you to Chris Mulvihill of Crystal Springs Resort for joining us today. Oh, it was a treat. Can't wait to see you again in person at Crystal Springs.